With 22 days until the midterm elections, Democrats are preparing to investigate Donald Trump and his administration should they flip the House. Democrats on committees ranging from intelligence to judiciary to oversight are prioritizing where to begin scrutinizing the president's conduct. In August, Axios obtained a spreadsheet circulating among Republicans that previewed a number of investigations they feared Democrats could launch if Democrats take control of the House. Scandals that Republicans have refused to investigate. To name a few, the list includes President Trump's tax returns, the Trump family businesses, Trump's dealings with Russia, the payment to Stormy Daniels, James Comey's firing, the travel ban, family separation policies, hurricane response in Puerto Rico, election security and hacking, and White House security clearances. In a Washington Post op-ed, top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, writes that this Republican-controlled Congress has surrendered its oversight responsibilities. The Republican Congress has not only failed to assert itself and review or investigate the conduct of the executive, worse, it's also been complicit in some of the president's most egregious attacks on our democratic institutions. It's clear that we need a new majority that's willing to hold this administration accountable. So what exactly will Democrats do if they win in November? Joining us now is Congressman Adam Schiff, ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, good to see you in person. We normally see you remotely.
Yes, good to be with you.
The Republicans circulated this list, ostensibly to scare themselves into saying, don't even think about losing the midterm elections because this is what's going to happen if Democrats come in. How accurate is that list of things that the Democrats are going to want to do, and how will Democrats prioritize those things?
Well, you know, it's only accurate in the sense that these are some of the issues that the Republican Congress has been completely unwilling to look into. If you look at the committee with the most broad oversight responsibility, government reform and oversight, that committee chaired by Trey Gowdy, the guy that brought us the endless Benghazi investigations, only recently did he issue even a single subpoena with one foot out the door, basically, during the entire Trump administration. They only found it worthy of one subpoena.
Right.
So it's been a complete abdication. But what that list doesn't convey is we are going to have to ruthlessly prioritize because there is so much that has gone wrong and so much worthy of a close examination. Our first priority is going to be putting forward a positive agenda, but where we do oversight, we're going to have to really prioritize the most important matters first.
You know, we keep on going out to Americans, many of whom are not as concerned about Russia, but they are concerned about the fact that we've got under 4% unemployment, and yet middle-class wages have not increased. They're very worried about health care. And if they're casting their ballot in November, for many Americans, it's going to be, can you improve those situations for me?
That is exactly right. And this is, I think, both why, on the one hand, our top priority has to be answering those tough economic questions, putting forward a positive agenda for the half of the country that is, yes, they're working, but they're not earning enough to get by or put anything away for retirement. We're in an economy which I think, because of globalization and automation, is going to be as disruptive as the Industrial Revolution. And we have to be offering solutions to people that allow them to keep their health care, that allow them to put away money for their retirement. But also, we need to do the oversight about why this isn't happening, why this tax giveaway, and we just saw the deficit balloon today as a result, why this isn't going to help.
No hearings on that either.
No hearings on that at all. Of course not. No hearings on that.
No hearings on health care.
One of the things that, you know, for example, Elijah Cummings, who will be the chair if we're successful in the midterms of the Government Oversight Committee, he wants to look into the cost of prescription drugs and what can we do to help people meet those key medical costs. These, I think, are going to be enormously important priorities because if we want to win back some of those voters that voted for Donald Trump because they'd given up all hope that the more conventional politicians were going to do anything about it, well, he hasn't done anything to improve their lot, but we have to be offering solutions that will.
One of the interesting things he said to Lesley Stahl in that 60 Minutes interview was about the Mueller investigation. She asked him to make a pledge to not get rid of Mueller. Let's listen to that.
Will you pledge that you will not shut down the Mueller investigation?
Well, I don't pledge anything, but I will tell you, I have no intention of doing that. I think it's a very unfair investigation because there was no collusion of any kind.
But you won't pledge?
There is no collusion. I don't want to pledge. Why should I pledge to you? If I pledge, I'll pledge. I don't have to pledge to you, but I have no intention of doing it.
What do you read out of that?
Well, first of all, even if he did pledge, one thing we've learned from President Trump, you can't rely on his word anyway. But he clearly wants to give himself the operating room, the maneuvering room, where he could get rid of Mueller, or he could get rid of Rod Rosenstein, or he can push Jeff Sessions out the door. He was similarly cagey about Jeff Sessions' future. The president may conclude, along with his legal advisors, that rather than facing the blowback that would be occasioned by getting rid of Bob Mueller, he will get rid of Jeff Sessions and replace him with some lackey, some Roy Cohn, somebody who will simply do his bidding and privately kneecap Bob Mueller rather than overtly fire him. It's long past time, I think, for the Congress to do something about this to protect the integrity of the investigation. It is no longer tenable for the Mitch McConnells of the world to say, well, we can't imagine that the president would actually interfere. He interferes on a daily basis,
right.
Trying to get documents from the Justice Department for his legal team that he has no right to see as someone who may be implicated in that investigation.
And you have written that it is Congress has got to say, you've written in your op-ed, we must do what the supine Republican Congress has failed to do over the past 2 years, restore Congress as an equal branch and check the ambition of an imperial and erratic president. If the Democrats take the House, you may be the chair of the Intel Committee, a committee that didn't do what it was supposed to do in the Russia investigation, in the investigation into Russian involvement into the election. There are a lot of Americans who are hoping that at least that committee will get something done.
And we will. And I think among the most important business that hasn't been done at all, investigation that hasn't been done at all, is the issue of were the Russians laundering money through the Trump Organization? Is that leverage that the Russians may have over the President of the United States? I think it's negligent not to answer that question and be able to tell the American people, yes, it's true, or no, it isn't. But if that is the explanation for that otherwise inexplicable conduct in Helsinki, in which he sides with Putin over his own intelligence agencies, we need to know about it to protect the country. And so I would hope in the Intel Committee we can restore credibility with the intelligence agencies for our committee. I would hope we can restore comity within the committee. But I would also hope that we do a credible and nonpartisan investigation of those things that could be a threat to the country.
Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Good to see you.
Congressman Adam Schiff is the ranking member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the button below for more from The Last Word and the rest of MSNBC.